All right, everybody, welcome to week one of tracking, growing my company. So we have a lot to do this week, very packed schedule. One of the biggest things is like I'm making a major gamble this week. We're spending every single penny that I have. So, I've done this before, and I seem to make the money back. So we're just going to roll the dice again. So the question is, what am I actually spending all this money on, right? So two very big things and two very important things, in my opinion, is one, going to the Arnold Expo in March. And I know it's like in March, but it's like I got to plan for it now. It's the Arnold. It goes quick. You have to pay for stuff now, apparently. And that's a lot of money. And then I also need to launch the actual company and launch the brand, launch the actual software, because the software is very close to being done. The next merch drop's coming out super soon, so we got to make sure everything is like a legit campaign. I'm doing this right. I'm doing this professional and official, and also to do that, you got to spend a lot of money. So I've done some rough estimates and that kind of stuff, and it pretty much is just all the money that I have, and but I still got to do some actual rough this is exactly what it's gonna cost. I'm gonna go do some math, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, just ran all the numbers. So it's going to be around $6,300 to $6,600. So that's basic. That literally is almost to a T all the money that I currently have. And so I am cool on reoccurring money that I have coming in, because I have a job, so I can pay reoccurring bills. But if anything comes up, we are fucked. I mean, it is nothing can go wrong from now till November. So this is quite the gamble, actually. It's kind of the most definitely kind of risky spot I'm putting myself in, but we gotta take a risk if we're gonna have a outcome that's really sick. So there we go. Let's run it. All right, I'm a couple monsters in, and I have finished my plan to create the best social media campaign for the launch of FitNext that, for lack of a better term, doesn't totally suck balls, because for the vast majority of my social media career so far, not going too well. So I gotta make sure I can do this legit, because I want this to actually be a cool launch. And I'm doing a lot of stuff outside of just social media, but I really want to utilize social media and get good at it. And I have a really cool plan that I'm pretty proud of, so we're gonna dive into that right now. I'll be totally honest with you, this is my 8th try of recording. It's 3 in the morning. I want to go to bed here, so I'm gonna this is the last one here. I'm done. Just voice crack. All right, anyway, so what was I gonna say? If anything comes up, we are fucked. I mean, it is nothing can go wrong from now till November. All right, many things came up. We are in a very rough position right now. I said I'd be kind of screwed over if anything went wrong, came up, and that's the situation that we're in right now. But we are in a predicament, and the only thing to do when you're in a predicament is to unpredictify yourself, so you're non-predicamented anymore, right? So what I'm doing is just essentially penny pinching like crazy and cutting off anything that's not bare essentials at the moment, right? So if you're in a business, you have to be okay, I have a certain amount of budget, I can't go over this budget, and I was very honest, that is all the money that I have, so I actually just can't go past the budget. I have no more money to spend. So what I gotta do is I cut costs from different things, right? So for example, for the merch that's coming soon, I gotta cut off some colors, right? So instead of each merch having 3-4 variations of colors, maybe they only have 1 or 2 variations of colors. That way I can save a lot of money on inventory and that kind of stuff. So that way we can progress forward with that. There's some parts of development that I'm cutting off, or at least holding off on to a later date. So that way, really, we are gonna have a working software that's strongly supported, and we have the merch. So everything should be fine. So I don't know if that's gonna equal the amount of money that I need to continue forward, but maybe I have to cut some stuff off in other spots. But so far so good. We're moving. I'm gonna figure it out. So there you go. So I figured it might be better to just kind of show it as it comes along rather than give you some big explanation. So, I think it's just gonna be easier. So what we are working on right now is part of the marketing plan. Huge thing is the merch, right? So we have to make sure the merch is kind of in a general theme. So the theming I'm kind of going for, I don't know if it's gonna make sense, but it's a mix of streetwear and then motivational gym stuff. So my parallel is maybe skateboarding clothes coupled with fitness motivational stuff, because I don't want to go too grungy, but I also don't want to go too professional where you have aloe and that kind of thing, and then but I also don't want to go too dark where you have Breathe Divinity or dark sport, that kind of thing. So I'm trying to meet somewhere in the middle. So that's kind of what we're working on, and we're working with a kind of a team, like a media team, and we're trying to get together all the different types of like, media that we're gonna do. So it's kind of like a good idea of like what that kind of looks like. So we're gonna have a bunch of different types of stuff. So we have, the overall brand goal and that kind of stuff. Like what do we want from the marketing campaign? Then the media types we're going for. So group photos, brand videos, that kind of stuff. The apparel and that kind of stuff. So a little sneak peek there. So lots of stuff to come. Then, next is be the vibes. That's kind of what it's explained. So kind of just explaining that. So, we're sending this doc over to my team, and we're going to kind of see like, what can they cook up and what can we got to do. So, and also how can we make it as affordable as possible. Okay, great news. I've unpredictified the predicament. So we're chilling. All right, moved a bunch of money around. I had to cut some like non-essentials, kind of get rid of some like. So I wish we could have done some more stuff, but like, it's close. It's very tight, but we are all on the way there. We are still moving. Yeah. So spectacular job on my part.